Welcome to NorthStar. Monroe Products is preparing a cash forecast based on the following information. Monthly sales for December, January, February and March is given. All sales are on credit and collected the month following the sales. Means January sales shall be collected in the month of February in full. Purchases are 60% of the next month's sales and are paid in the month of purchase. Means whatever is the sales of February, 60% of that sales shall be purchased in the month of January and also paid in the same month. Other monthly expenses are 25,000, which includes 5,000 of depreciation. If the January beginning cash balance is given as $30,000, Monroe is required to maintain a minimum cash balance of $10,000. How much short-term borrowings will be required at the end of February? Let's calculate this. 4 months details are given: December, January, February and March. How much? 200,000 for the month of December, 200,000 for the month of January, 350,000 for February and 400,000 for the month of March. And it says, what is the collection or receipts? Receipts is immediately next month following the month of sales. So December month shall be collected in the month of January, 200,000. January month shall be collected in the month of February. So another 200,000. And this February sales shall be collected in the month of March. What are the payments? So payments, there are two payments. First is for purchases and second is for other monthly expenses. So payments towards purchases. So first we need to find out purchases. Whatever we have sold in the month of January, 60% of that shall be purchased in the month of December. And when will the payment be done? Payment will also be done in the month of December only. Alright. So payment and purchases are in the same month. This makes our calculation very easy. So let's start from February. February 350,000 multiplied by 60%. When will it be purchased? In the month of January. How much? 210,000. Similarly, whatever is sold in the month of March, 60% of that will be purchased in the month of February and payment will also be done in the month of February itself. So 240,000. These are the two payments which we are doing in the month of January and February. Why are we starting our calculation from January? Because opening cash balance is given for the January month only. So that's why our calculation has to start from January and not from December. Next, other expenses. Other expenses is 25,000 including depreciation. Depreciation is a non-cash expenditure. So we are going to take only the cash portion of other expenses. Alright. So we have opening cash balance. Let's take opening cash balance. How much? $30,000. So total receipts we have how much? Opening cash balance plus receipts 230,000. And what is the payments? Payment is also 230,000. So my receipts and payments is matching. My closing cash balance would become 0. This 0 would become next period's opening cash balance. Now, opening cash balance plus 200,000, my total is 200,000. And how much is our payments? Payments are $260,000. So how much is the closing cash balance? We will have a negative closing cash balance of $60,000. This negative cash balance can also be called as bank OD or any other short-term borrowings. But the question has told we need to maintain a minimum cash balance of $10,000 at the end of the month of February. So this $10,000 further needs to be borrowed. So we need to borrow in the month of February further this 10,000. And total borrowings for the month of February would become 70,000. So the correct option would be option B, $70,000. But there is an alternative understanding of this question also. Let's read the last point of the question. It says, Monroe is required to maintain a minimum cash balance of $10,000. How much short-term borrowings will be required at the end of February? Here, nowhere it looks like that the question wants to say that $10,000 should be maintained as closing cash balance only for the month of February. It looks like that $10,000 should be maintained as closing cash balance for all the months. In that case, question will slightly change our calculation. In other words, if you look here, in the month of January, our closing cash balance is how much? Is 0. But if we are understanding this, means in the month of January, we should have borrowed 10,000 to maintain a closing cash balance. In that case, closing cash balance for the month of January is 0. We will borrow $10,000 in the month of January. And this $10,000 will become opening cash balance in that case. Let's change the ink color so that I can highlight it. So this $10,000 will become opening cash balance. Alright, remember this is an overdraft balance. So this will be a negative overdraft balance. From this, another 200,000 we have a cash receipts. So how much would it be? So 200,000 minus 10,000, which is an OD balance, your total would become 190,000. And your total payment is 260,000 minus 260,000, you get a negative balance of 70,000. Now, is the answer same? Answer is you have a total balance of 70,000. But have you borrowed entire 70,000 in the month of February? Answer is no. We had borrowed 10,000 in the month of January and another 60,000 in the month of February. And total closing balance will be 70,000 as short-term borrowings. In that case, we can say that the correct answer could be 60,000 because 10,000 was not borrowed in February, but it was borrowed in the month of January itself. Let's read the last point again. Monroe is required to maintain a minimum cash balance of $10,000. How much short-term borrowings will be required at the end of February? So short-term borrowings that will be required at the end of February is 60,000 further. This is another assumption also. If the question has told how much short-term borrowings would be required by the end of February, then it could be same answer 70,000 what we have got. So slight confusion, but I will always suggest you go with the LoS answer. LoS answer has given 70,000. I want you to stick to this calculation of 70,000, but just alternative possibility is also there. Hope you understood this. Thank you.